Hi everybody, this is Alchemist2, and I'm back again with another movie review. Recently, I stumbled upon a CD that I had forgotten, not CD, DVD that I had forgotten I had, and this is it, if you can see it. It's an animated film called Lizards, and it's by far the strangest thing that I have seen in a great long while. It takes place in an brain faster than tongue. It takes place in an apocalyptic future where a megaton bomb destroys all of civilization and everything is reborn as fairies and elves and trolls. And it's just really bizarre. And the beginning slides, or the scenes itself, which are illustrations rather than animation, it reminds me of ElfQuest. It's really beautiful. I like the illustrations here because they look very professional and well done, and the story is really intriguing. And it's basically a story telling this uh, tale of how these two wizards were brought to the world by their mother, who happened to be a fairy. And you have Blood Wolf and Avatar, and Avatar had a attracting spirit, and Blood Wolf had a repelling spirit. So you can tell they're yin and yang at the very beginning. It's, allegorical. And this was written in 1976, which I thought was really intriguing. Plus, there are a lot of adult themes to this as well, including how pert the nipples and breasts on the female characters are, which I tried not to notice, and it was kind of distracting in many of the scenes, especially with Eleanor later on when we're introduced to her, and you've got different characters that are involved, like Weehawk, and then you've got Necron 99, who is an assassin who works for Blood Wolf, and he's a robot who's basically programmed to do nothing else than kill. That's all he's ever known. And I'm not really sure what to give this because the voice acting is really less to be desired, except for Eleanor's song, which I think is a really beautiful song. The animation leaves a lot to be desired. It's very amateurish. It's just, lackadaisical. It's like, someone just threw it up on a canvas and said, well, here we go. I mean, this is art. And I mean, it's a good story. It's a very intriguing, different story. I like apocalyptic worlds. I always have. It's just something that's fascinated me. And the whole idea of technology versus magic, or the element of love, has always been something that I thought is a very good plot device. And I've always loved magical realms, and this is sort of like magic meets apocalypse, basically, and the battle between good and evil. And it's just the most strange. Well, I shouldn't say that. Actually, the most unusual film that I've ever seen, but was far better than this, is Paprika. Talk about a mind trip. That is a mind trip. But this was trippy as well. And a lot of the backdrops were done with, I'm not sure how, but they did some live action. I think it was rotoscope, maybe? No, it wasn't rotoscope. Maybe it was. I can't really make it out, but they had some film with a lot of battle scenes, when the battle scenes actually took place. And then they have this element later on in the movie. It's a magical projector that hypnotizes. Actually, it's Black Wolf, or whatever the warlock's name is. He has a device that hypnotizes his army, It's basically footage from World War II with Hitler and his speech and Nazis, and they've got swastikas everywhere. And then one thing that kind of threw me off a little bit was their uh, the lizard that's kind of the toady. Because most of the characters in that world are frogs. Yeah, that's a bad pun, but the lagoon character, Larry, we figure out his name is Larry. He's in one scene he eats pork, and you can see that there's a Star of David on it, which is kind of ironic because Jews don't eat pork. And there's one part where the soldiers of Blood Wolf they inquire of these priests, and they basically make fun of religion, which it didn't really it didn't um, offend me in any way, shape, or form. I thought I should be offended by this, and I'm not, because religion can be quite humorous at times, and it can be, to the outsider, it looks like buffoonery and chicanery, and can be just ridiculous to those who are uninitiated. And it really was. It was just, making fun of dogma and all that, because dogma is really stupid. And it just, get off me, silly bug. But it proved a lot. I mean, there was a lot of meat to this film, but it just was so unusual, and the narration was just so placid and kind of soporific that I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to stay awake for the rest of the film. And I wish somebody would stop doing that. Other than that, I really don't have that much to say about Wizards, other than if you like this sort of thing, I recommend it. It's a good film for curiosity. If you have any ideas that you want to get from it, if you're writing a story that has those elements involved. The whole war scenes with my recent story are going to be helpful. But I really don't know what to rate this, because I liked it and I didn't like it, because it was just kind of out there. But as far as films go, I would give it, yeah, I'll give it 3 stars. I was gonna give it 2, but the voice actors, they're okay. The animation is terrible, except for the illustrations. The narration is actually occurring. That is really absolutely beautiful. Like I said, it was very reminiscent of ElfQuest from what I've read in the series, and I don't know if ElfQuest was inspired by that. It could have been. How do I know? But other than that, I give it 3 stars and 1 thumb up. I mean, it wasn't too terribly bad, but it proved a point, and good basically wins at the end. Sorry, spoiler alert, but it's actually not that bad of a film, but it's definitely worth looking into if you want to see the depravity of technology and the goodness of love, and just some of the illogical things that go on with the film itself. Because in the end, and there's another spoiler alert, Avatar kills Blood Wolf with a gun, and I'm like, no, that's technology. You should have used magic. Why did you do that? Ugh, you idiot. But I mean, that part didn't make any sense. That was the one thing that kind of threw me off. But that was just a little nag. Other than that, I think it was really a pretty good film. Not the best film I've ever seen, but interesting nonetheless.